to really start from where Baba is. See this question. Do you exist? See where it's pointing. How do you know you exist? We are not looking for the answer in the form of a thought from the mind. But wordlessly. Words cannot help here. If there were no thoughts, there were no words, and there were no images, would you still exist? Baba wants us to know our pure existence that we are. The wordless existence, our aliveness, which does not need any words, any image, any language. Which is why silence is the highest teaching. Silence is the antidote to ego, opposite of ego. But it doesn't mean that silence and ego cannot coexist. What is ego? Ego is just movement. Ego is just noise. And silence is the background. I, the soul, am silence. And I'm the background for movement, for noise, that which is ego. Ego cannot exist without me, the silence that I am. Which is why knowing oneself as Baba's child, which means being in the womb of silence of Baba, being the stillness in the still silent womb of Baba. Doesn't mean body cannot move and mind cannot think. Not at all. Mouth can speak, mind can think, body can move. I am that silent and still background. A peaceful background. That is what it means to be child of God and being equal to God. To know my existence, my aliveness beyond any artificial supports. For example, word-made thoughts, or moving the body to feel alive. These are all artificial supports. All artificial supports used by mind-made image, self-image, that feels alive with these artificial supports. And Baba has come here to take away all these supports. And he wants the soul to have just one support. That is himself. And to be with him, I, the being, don't need the support of words. I, the being, don't need the support of images or thoughts or some temporary emotion. No. I don't need a thought to know I'm a child of God. I don't need language to know I'm a child of God. Don't need some pleasant feeling in the body and mind to know I'm a child of God. I don't need others' minds' approval to know I'm a child of God eternally. I don't need to have an aim to be a child of God. I am all-knowing. I'm not here in this moment to achieve something. That which I can lose later. Just Baba and I. And movement and noise. Constantly visiting. Thoughts are not my enemy. It's just that I need to let go of seeing them as me. And see them for what they are. This language made, word made tools. Giving them more importance and seeing them as me and mine. Is what makes them dangerous tools. Not because they can harm the soul, but they can act and pretend to be a soul. They can act as an imposter. That is why knowing oneself as you exist, as Papa knows me, in my truth, beyond sound, beyond movement, beyond the sound of thoughts, beyond the sound of sensations, beyond the movement of thoughts and the movement of sensations. Soul is completely separate, a living being of light. That's who I am. That's who you are. This is actually collapsing of all attention. When we, the souls, are not looking to our minds for some words or for some thoughts to know me, or some image to know me, which is the outward attention. But I just know me as I am, in the eyes of God. That is the collapsing of all attention inwards into the source. That is being zero. This is a point where it's not like I, the soul, am taking my attention away from mind and keeping my attention on God. But it's more like the moment I take attention away from the mind, complete collapsing of all attention takes place. As there's a clear realization, Baba and I were never separated. I find myself where I've always been, before my attention veered off in the direction of the mind. I find myself that I've always been in this womb of silent peace of Baba. No thought, no word, no language, no image has the power to pull me out of this place. No doubt, no confusion, no concern. None of these labeled, loaded words, which only exist in the mind, can ever touch me. So being who you are, being that silent one, let us come and play with words, play with sound, play with movement, play with images. Play with each other through these bodies. But knowing I am the silent and the still one, the wordless one, the languageless one. Then I can be aware whilst playing that the same language can mean many different things. Same words can mean many different things to each one, based on each one's unique script, unique conditioning. For the play. Shut. Shanti. We'll go back to our old yesterday's Murli to finish it. Yeah. And it's 1478. So do we know that why it's so important for us to know ourselves beyond the words cannot help you in knowing yourself. Yeah. So Baba is saying, so how great would be the importance of the souls who constantly stay in relationship with the soul who's constantly elevated. When there is a little upheaval, you will see that the old souls, those who have been constantly fulfilling the relationship of a companion, will become so important. Just as all things have importance and are considered to be valuable, so too, while speaking of the value of you souls and praising you people, and praising you, people will consider themselves to have been graced by you. Do you consider yourself to be such an elevated soul? Now listen to this. To the extent that you sing Baba's praise, to that extent, people will sing in return praise of you souls. Why are they not singing your praise at the moment? You are doing service at this time. But why is it that you receive the total fruit at the end? Very important, yeah? You do receive some at present, but it is less. Do you know the reason for this? At this time, you sometimes mix up yourself with the Father. While singing praise of the Father, you begin to sing your own praise. The language you speak is very sweet, but the consciousness of mind, soul conscious feelings finish. Hmm? How do you understand this? So to renounce the consciousness of mind is the greatest and most subtle renunciation. If I'm truly singing, on one hand, Baba is saying, you must sing Baba's praise. Then on the other hand, Baba is saying, why it's not working? Because then when you sing my praise, you mix as though it is your praise, you're as a person, right? So Baba is saying that the subtlest renunciation is the renunciation of consciousness of mind. And truly, when I'm singing Baba's praise, I will not see myself as God, but I will see myself as a child of God, as Master God. So there will be no mixing happening. Yeah? I will always know that Baba is the one who's bringing salvation and liberation to all. But when I mix, I start seeing I am bringing salvation and liberation to all. Hmm? I am helping. I am pulling people or souls out of confusion. I am the one giving gyan. But when I'm truly singing Baba's praise, means I am really knowing it and living it. Internally, I know that this being that I am is this light that has no person identity as me or mine, but there's a play of it going on within me. So if I buy into this word mine, which my mind speaks, if I buy into it and I believe it, then I have taken Baba's praise as my praise. Is it making sense? Yeah. And that's what I was saying. The subtlest renunciation is the consciousness of mind. And because when you're singing Baba's praise in a true manner, there's no separation of a personhood in between Baba and I. There's no separation. Then I will feel Baba and I are one. And when Baba and I are one, is there any consciousness of mind? It's when Baba and I are still not, I'm not feeling that sense of equality with Baba. That is when the consciousness of mind takes over. The moment I'm feeling sense of equality with Baba, consciousness of mind just cannot take over. And mine is not just about, I did something and so I'm now saying Baba did it. No. Consciousness of mind is very subtle. Even in certain aspects, I'm not good enough is a thought which I buy into. I'm still seeing myself as separate from God. Yeah. And that consciousness of mind will also, I'm not singing the praise of Baba the way Because Baba's praise will bring me close to the fact that I'm equal to him. So then I won't mix anything. It won't feel like it's mine after that. Whether it's seva, whether it's the movement of the body, whether it is the thinking of the mind, whether it is thoughts from Baba, because I will know everything is coming directly from Baba because I have disowned and surrendered this mind, old mind and the old body to Baba already. In a real sense, not in the words in words, but in real sense. So in Baba's praise, you will be able to see this game of thoughts very separate from you. Very, very separate from you. So what are you without words? What are you without thoughts? What are you without images? What are you? Do you exist?
Zero. शून्य.
शून्य. हमें माइंड का आंसर नहीं चाहिए. Shunya can also be just a word. But I exist. I just exist. Whether words are there or not, whether right words, no words, whatever words, it doesn't matter. I exist. Language there or not, I exist. Somebody was telling me, I can't visualize. Great, no problem. If it comes, that's good. If it doesn't come, that's good. Anyways, a visual is also coming from within you. It doesn't exist without you, does it? Does a visual exist without you? No, it's coming from within you. So do you need a visual? If it's there, wonderful. If it's not there, wonderful. So somebody really beautifully shared that I don't see anything, and yet I know I'm with Baba. I don't need a visual sister. I'm with Baba. I just know it. I'm like, this confidence is really lovely. And then it's like that soul is, you can see with the way that soul was sharing its experience. It's like, I can even see these storms of words. I can see the storms of language. I can see the storms of the movement. But there is a feeling of bliss which is just not going away. And that is me. And that is me. Yeah. And that's what you need to know. It's the collapsing of all attention within you, the source. This is what Baba is really. This is Baba's womb is a womb of silence. It's a womb of stillness. It's a womb of peace, constant peace. It's a womb of constant joy and constant bliss. And there you know that nothing about, and ego is what? Noise and movement. Nothing about noise and movement can touch you. Yeah? If you really break down ego, what does it boil down to? Noise of the words and movement of the body. Isn't it? How do you create self-image? Using words, using language. It's not created without language, is it? No. So Baba is saying, to renounce the consciousness of mind is the greatest and most subtle renunciation. On the basis of this renunciation, the number one soul created the number one fortune. The basis of the 8 jewels is also this renunciation of mine. That is I and mine merged in it. When there is no consciousness of I, there is no consciousness of mine. If you see, I'm always thinking as someone about something or someone. If you see, your mind is always thinking, listen to this, as someone it believes itself to be, about someone and something. Have you seen that? Can you see the subtlety of it?
Can you please give an example of what you just said? Okay.
Yeah. So it's like my mind is thinking as someone, right? There has to be someone who's thinking. Who is it thinking as? As who is it thinking?
As the part?
Yeah, more, go a little subtler. Who is it thinking as? Part is still there as a
Own
person.
person.
Yeah.
When we identify ourselves as a thought, like I see myself and connect myself to a thought and just create own thing, like
Uh-huh. Yeah. I see myself as someone who is either jealous, as someone who's either fearful, or as someone who's either very happy, as someone who's very excited, as someone who is so and so with this story and coming from there, going here, my background this, and I've come so far. Do you see how you're always someone, thinking as someone?
Yeah, they got that.
Yeah. And about someone. Isn't it funny?
So this about someone is about the other person's identity, as
Other souls thought. My
other
mind
soul's thought.
created a
Yeah,
thought about that soul's body mind.
yeah.
Yeah. And that's the only way, if I can really understand how the ego mind perpetuates itself, thinking as someone, about someone, always, all the time. Then it's like, when you go to a wedding, and in India, I remember I used to go visit the soul behind brother, and they used to study in college in Bombay. And you know how young parts of those bodies, they would go to the wedding crashers. They are wedding crashers. They crash the weddings. So they used to crash the weddings. Hmm? And they would go to those weddings, and the ladki wala will not know if it's the someone from the ladka wala, or the ladka wala will not know if it's from the ladki wala, right? And they would enjoy, have fun, have a blast until someone questions, who are they? The moment someone questions, who are they flee. Something with the ego mind is like that. If you don't question it, you don't see it for what it is, It is crashing the wedding, having a blast inside of you, and you don't even know. Hmm? The moment you question, it knows it has been caught. Right? And that is what Baba is telling us. Know who you are. More you know yourself as that still, silent being in my womb, more it exposes all these different various forms of ego. Ego means words and movements. Words, thoughts, and movements. It exposes it. Then it does not have that power because it was never existing in the first place. It has non-existence. It does not exist. Yeah? Does not exist as a person, we mean. Of course, it exists as a word, which was learned, which was taught. But word was also like what? In some form of language it is taught. But it's just existing as that. So Baba is saying that on the basis of this renunciation, the number one soul created the number one fortune. The basis of the 8 jewels is also this renunciation. You should remember Baba, Baba at every second and finish any thought of the consciousness of mine. Finish means it will automatically disappear. You don't need to finish. It just means when you are really one with Baba, equal to Baba, knowing that you are not that separate island existing separately. You are a being who is one with Baba. Then in that, automatically the other consciousness of mind will finish. Yeah? When there is no consciousness of I, there is no consciousness of mine. So if I am not this person, this thought, then there's no my this and my that and my thought and my feeling and my emotion and my memory and my whatever it is, my idea and my concern and my worry and my anxiety and my whatever. Hmm? My Maya. हाँ, ये तो ज्यादा सबसे. It's my Maya. I have to finish my ego. My sanskar. We're not saying my, it's just there, sitting silently. है ना? So Baba is saying, to renounce the consciousness of mind, when there is no consciousness of I, there is no consciousness of mine. My nature, my sanskar, my duty, my name will be defamed or famed, and fame or defame. Yeah, I'm adding defame, but that's what it means. The consciousness of mind for all these should finish. To finish now, when Baba is saying should finish, does not mean, oh, by force you have to finish it. That's not what it means. It just dissolves on its own. More you know your eternal, silent, still truth being the way Baba is in his womb. Yeah. More and more, again and again, as the mind speaks thoughts, sit with Baba. Baba, do I exist? Yes, child, whether these thoughts are there or not, whether these words are there or not, whether the feeling that it makes you have, good or bad, it exists or not, because every thought is creating a feeling of being good or being bad, whether that exists or not, you exist, child. You exist forever. You are, look, this silent being. Do you need anything? Do you need any support except me? Do you need to believe these words to be you? No, not at all. So then why are you listening to it? Ah, that's true. Don't listen. Listen to Baba. Hmm? Who's trying so hard to understand? So hard to understand. Stop efforting. Look at me. Mohabbat. Because to make an effort to achieve something, you are already in the realm of ego. Hmm? Yeah. Ego lives as a means to an end. Every action is a means to get to some end of it. Oh, at the end, I will receive happiness. After I make this effort, I will receive happiness. After I do this task, I will receive satisfaction. Oh, calm ho gaya. After I walk this much, I would have completed 10,000 steps and feel good. I did my walk of the day. Always a means to an end. That's how ego works. Where's the being? We're doing it together. Let things happen, Baba. You know? If I work this hard in this work, then I will get to this position. It's about external. But if I get to this, if I get to the point where there are no thoughts, then I will experience bliss. Keep waiting. Keep waiting. It's never coming. Sorry to say that, but that's true. When my mind is purified, then I will feel much happier. Waiting, constant waiting game it's playing. You know? I am happiness. And mind will purify in its own time as Baba and I are together, just interested in each other. No importance to what it says. No me and mine to what it says or what it does. Because it's an activity within me. I am not it. This is why Baba is saying that this is known as, my nature, consciousness of mind. To finish the consciousness of I and mine is to be equal and perfect. The moment there's no consciousness of I am this and I am that, means I can see it separate from me, I, me, mine. That very moment you will feel equal to Baba. That very moment you will feel equal to Baba. True? Yeah. It is this consciousness of I and mine which is making you feel separate from him. And then as ego, as that thought, as that movement and the word, then you feel sometimes higher, sometimes lower. That is what happens. That happens. So that is why Baba is saying, there should be no consciousness of I even in your dreams. This is known as sacrificing the horse of the consciousness of I in the sacrificial fire. Yeah. Now, they're not one layer of dreams. We have many, many layers of dreams. Yeah. And it's not just the physical dream of the physical person Baba is talking about. It is also the dream that I, the soul, see with my open eyes in my world of thoughts. Right? So if you really see from Baba's perspective, Baba is not looking at the person who's dreaming. He's not even talking to the person who's dreaming. He's talking to the soul for whom this thought-made identity is the dream. But when as a person, I listen to this line, oh, Baba said I should not have consciousness of I even in my dreams, but I had such a bad dream yesterday. Do you see the irony of it? I'm saying I to those thoughts and images that were showing in the sleep as me, mine, and I. And here Baba is saying that no consciousness of I even in your dreams means even in my thoughts. Don't have consciousness of I with these thoughts which are coming in your mind. Because the moment you say I to a particular thought, you've opened up a world of dreams. This line has to be really understood, but because many, I would say 100% Brahmins, I have not yet come across one who doesn't suffer this line.
Just to put some more light on this so that it's ingrained very deeply in us.
Yeah. So see, one is the dream of a person. As a person, Rini, I'm sleeping, thinking I'm Rini. And then as Rini, I'm having a dream. Baba is not talking to Rini. Baba is not even talking about this very limited dream. Baba is talking about this unlimited dream that the soul is trapped in, and that is a dream world of thoughts and words, right? So, for example, a thought comes that when will I understand this deep knowledge? It is so subtle, I don't get it. Let's say these thoughts come. Yeah? Now, these are the thoughts. If I can see them without the consciousness of I and mine, can they have the power to pull me into a dream world? No. They will just simply be seen as thoughts that have just some words in it, and then they will just fall apart. They have no meaning for me. Right? More I am not getting trapped into the thought's dream, that it is carrying a dream world with it. Every thought is carrying a virtual reality world with it. Right? So when I do not entertain it as me, mine, and I, then Baba is saying that even in your dreams, there will be no consciousness of I. Because now I'm not interpreting these words and thoughts as me, mine, and I'm not entering the world that they're taking me into. Because the moment I buy into this thought as my thought, without saying my thought, I buy into this thought, let's say. I buy into this thought. I don't know, when will I understand this? This is so subtle, so sukshma. I don't understand it. Now I buy into this, I, the soul, buy into this thought. Now what happens? What are the next few other virtual reality games that will open inside of that thought. I'm going to work even harder. Either I'm going to work even harder or I'm just going to leave it. It's मेरे बस की बात नहीं है, छोड़ो इसको. Either of the two. Either you'll be feeling it's too abstract, or you'll be like, wow, it's so great. I want to work even harder to know it. Now, this is a dream world which has opened up from believing that first thought to be you. Yeah. Now it can go either in this direction or in that direction, either of working too hard or just, okay, let go. I don't care. Baba ne bola na, let go, let go. So I let go. That is when duality comes. The moment I believe in the first thought, it opens up the door to duality. Either this way or that way. Extremes open up.
Sister, can you give us like one more example? One part, this one understand when you say open the door for duality, either this way or that way, didn't quite follow.
Yeah, it's either extreme. Oh, I'm going to work even harder now.
Okay.
Too much effort. Ego makes effort to become perfect. Or it will be the other side. I can't understand it. Just leave it. Let me just read Murli, eat Parma Bhojan, and that's enough, good enough for me. चल तो रही है, हो तो रही है. Then that image will come, or that one will come.
वो तो मजबूरी वाला हो गया है. It's all मजबूरी. You're just doing it for the sake.
Both are equally trapping the soul. One is not better than the other. The moment you are in duality, in extremes, you're lost. I mean, you're never lost, but you are believing yourself to be lost.
Yeah, it's ego, right? या तो मैं कुछ कर रहा हूँ या तो मेरे को कुछ नहीं करना है. One is laziness, one is extra laboring. So it's ego.
Yeah. But that is what is happening when the soul is first giving this belief to this first thought that comes. I'm not getting it. It is too subtle for me. If at this point only you can catch it, Baba and I, and this is a wedding crasher that has come to the wedding of Baba and I, visiting us, right? You don't give it chai pani, means you don't entertain it as me, mine, and I. You just see it as okay. Baba has seen it, I have seen it now. The moment we see it as what it is, it runs away. It doesn't open up the door to duality.
So this one is just thinking how ingrained the other one is, like that's been taught as a person, right? Like from the childhood itself, right? और मेहनत करो कुछ कमी है और करो, right?
Yeah. Actually, either way is there ingrained. In some it is that way, in some in the conditioning is the other way in their minds. Or there is both the conditionings. Sometimes this conditioning will come up, sometimes that conditioning will come up. And actually, you can only know yourself by letting go of the mind. And you can't even, mind will say, okay, now I let go. See, even this message of letting go will be heard by the mind as, okay, now I let go. As a person, mind will say, okay, now I let go. True?
Mind questions, और ये let go. क्या कुछ नहीं, next time काम कैसे होगा? How the work will get done?
Yeah. And that is why Baba is saying, letting go is the natural happening that happens when the soul is aware of its silent and still truth in the womb of the Supreme Parent. Then I don't need to let go. I just see with Baba and it's exposed and it goes. What Baba gives, what Baba says, what Baba feels like my truth.
Baba keeps telling us, let go of this desire, not the task. That's where this one
Let
gets.
go of the identification with desire.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
To be very precise. Yeah.
Yeah.
Baba doesn't say let go of the task or the role or the
Yeah.
not the scene. Like I should rather say scene that you are doing, right? That's
Actually,
what.
not even that sanskara as me or mine. Baba is saying, if you make it as me or mine, then you think, okay, it's mine. Now I have to let go as a person. If you let go of a sanskara as a person, you are not going to be able to let go of it. It will come back, and it will come back as me, mine, and I. And you will feel, I need more practice, and I need more attention, and I need more and more and more and more, and you're trapped. But with Baba,
This is deep.
yeah,
This is very deep.
this is actually very simple, but yes, it can be very deep, but it is very simple. It is like, that is why for me, the best thing is he's my friend of good times and he's my friend of all bad times for the mind's language. Not just good time friend. With Baba, I experience ordinariness also. With Baba, I experience familiarity in my mind body also. With Baba, I experience the happiness and the sadness of the mind and the body and the circumstances. With Baba, I experience everything. He's my friend under all circumstances of my mind and my body. Oh, I'm feeling like this. Why? Then why you're alone? Be with Baba and then see it. Why do you want to be alone in that experience? Bring him with you. Hmm? Why do you want to be alone? I'm feeling miserable. I'm feeling so heavy. I am feeling so heavy. You've owned it. Isn't it? You have owned that sanskar already. And
Yeah,
Baba,
the moment you said me and mine,
you've owned it.
finish, done, right there.
Part of that experience as you now. But I can see Baba. Baba, you and me together. Can you see this experience of heaviness coming? Wonderful. And that experience just kind of really stops having power over you. Yes, child. Is that you, that experience? No, but I wanted you to see it with me. You know? You know, like an innocent child who just sometimes spills the milk in the kitchen, and then he holds his mom's hand and he brings the mom to the kitchen and shows, see, I spilled the milk. Huh? So I and Baba together can see the mind's game of spilling the milk. I and Baba together can see the mind's games. It's not me spilling the milk, it's my mind spilling the milk, and I and Baba can see together. Yeah?
So, sister, this one is noticing. This one can see the thoughts, but that connection sometimes is not like strong, like with Baba, like how you say, seeing with Baba. That part, this one is seeing all the thoughts, all the upheaval, as a, oh, saying this or saying that. But
You know,
and
as
then it's like,
I said,
oh, am I with Baba? Am I with Baba
yeah.
or not? That
So,
that part is.
and the moment the mind says, am I with Baba? I'm embodiment of that thought. Because it's feeling like my thought and me. Right? So because, and as we said the last time, if you remember, we said if there are 5 layers of thoughts, I can see the 4, but I am the embodiment of the first one. Yeah. And from there, I'm seeing the 4, but I'm still the embodiment of the first one. And that is why I'm not feeling Baba. But to be able to see that, that I'm the embodiment of the first one also, that is when the mind will say, I'm not feeling Baba, but I know I can see everything, but I'm not feeling Baba. And that is where you just need to turn towards Baba and know you are already with him, and then know that you are equal to him. Just like he is thoughtless, you are thoughtless. Just like he is without any human emotions, you are also without any human emotions. They are part of play within you, but that is not you. Moment you see that thought, you create a distance between that first thought and you, the thoughtless one. Yeah. Otherwise, as thought number one, I'm seeing 5 thoughts. But now as a thoughtless one, I'm seeing all 5. There's a difference. But it's good. At least from 0, we've come to 3, 2, 1. Now we will be 0. We are seeing it from the place of being 0. And constantly seeing with Baba, like especially when this one is doing the activities which does not need much of my thinking mind. So what I do is, like when I'm driving or when I'm cooking or when I'm by myself or doing things, or even when I'm with others parts, I constantly just pay attention to this one fact, that Baba, how are you seeing them? And like Baba said today, this world stage is such a beautiful stage, and these lights are constantly shining. So when you look at the moon and the sun, are you seeing them as the lights for the stage? Or are you seeing it as a beautiful moon and a beautiful sunrise and making it all real? And a beautiful sunset and taking pictures and making it all real? Or am I seeing them as lights for the stage?
Sister, what did you say? Light for stage. What did you say?
Lights for the stage. You know, we have lights for
What do you
the
mean?
stage. There's a stage,
Okay.
and there are
Perfect, perfect.
lights for the stage. Yeah.
Not more than that.
Not more than that.
So today is your blessing in California, Murli. How this mind, misbehaved yesterday when Baba was saying for 1 hour, you are tolerating, and for 1 second, if you are in trap, then soda water. I said, Baba, from the 1 second, I'll not go to the 1 hour. I'll shoo away that person or whatever. I'll say, stay away. I'm not going to suffer for 1 hour and then spoil my stage. This mind was, behaving me, taking me to that. I said, why I have to tolerate for 1 hour and then keep tolerating? And then maybe, I leak into it. I suffer that emotion for 1 second, then it's all gone. So from the very beginning only, I'll be very alert and shoo away that feeling. Better you behave. So how the mind perceive that bigger message in that, if I don't identify for a glimpse or for a second, then also I'm away from whatever person says for 2 hours also, it won't impact me.
Yeah.
Mind started misbehaving. Yeah, can you clear it a little more?
Yeah.
Your blessing today.
Yeah, mind is not misbehaving at all, actually. Mind is not an enemy. Mind is not a bad thing. Or because again, the ego itself will try to make an enemy out of its own self so that it can perpetuate itself, right? Mind is not an enemy. Mind is not bad. Mind is just a tool. It seems to be blunted right now. It is not neutral. So either being need to be coming from that neutral place to use that instrument, right? So it depends. If either being I'm using the mind from the place of being neutral, then mind's conversations and its talks and its thoughts of duality, that I don't want to tolerate this person. What is the point? I'm going to spoil my stage. This is all mind speaking these thoughts. These are just simple words, right? The checking is, do I, the being, have any consciousness of I and mine with those thoughts, not shooing them away. But the checking with Baba is the being seeing with Baba will see. They don't feel like mine. They just seem to be some words jumbled up in a boggle. You know how you play boggle and what do you call Scrabble and boggle? Just some letters trying to mix up and make a word out of it, and then word creating, oh wow, the feeling of victory over it. So it's just playing a boggle game. It's a Scrabble game that it's playing.
So, sister, mind is not a problem. Ego is a problem.
Ego is also not a problem. Nothing is a problem for the soul.
Giving weightage, identifying it, what is then?
It is just that feeling that is me. It's not a problem. It's just a feeling that's there, that subtle me, mine is there with these subtle feelings and the subtle movements and the subtle, the very subtle noise of these words and these letters in the mind, which are trying to jumble up into some word and creating a word with it, creating a feeling and a world with it. That feeling of me and mine, that consciousness that is me. It's not speaking, but it is just there, that consciousness that that's me. That's where really the...
As if I belong to it. I owe it.
You
I
own,
am in
as though you own those words, those letters, those thoughts. Yeah? This one used to love playing the game of Scrabble before coming into Baba's knowledge, yeah? Would love playing Scrabble, yeah? And would see how you would use every letter and put those letters together and then create a word and then 7-letter word and then how many points and such an identification with the words that you are creating. And my mind is constantly playing Scrabble all the time. It's scrambling to play Scrabble. Scrambling to look for words and create emotions and feelings based on those words, the way it understands those words. Yeah? That is all it's doing, but that's the function of it. That's what it is supposed to do. Like a horse has to run. A horse cannot be in one place. But more, the charioteer is much not with violence and not with force and not with the, what do you call, 2 lakhs, Soran, 2 lakhs at the reins. But there is a skill of love and patience and intuition, knowing what will, not chabuk. Not lash.
It will be that Chabuk will be, total disaster.
Yeah.
Sister, I'll relate one very small story. I was, 25 years back riding a horse. It went mad. And the way you're telling right now, no, you got to be very soft with your reins. And I knew it's going to, we both are going to be dead, the horse and me. I was just, taking a soft turn. I fell down, horse went away on the road and whatever was, but the injury, the suffering, the pain was not so much because somewhere soft, turn.
Soft landing.
That's how we need to be with our mind.
Yeah. Absolutely. But for that, I, the charioteer, need to be very awake at the reins. Yeah. And that is what Baba is wanting us, that you are the charioteer, mind is the horse, you have the reins, and you are the co-charioteer, and I am the charioteer.
Baba.
So Baba is with me. Together, charioteer and co-charioteer are observing the mechanisms of the mind without any chabuk or without any force. You know, घोड़े की नाक में भी वो डाल के उसको खींचते हैं तो दर्द होता है ना उसको. So without giving any pain to it. Because either that horse will either be like this or it will grow wild. But without that, just with that unconditional love, with that understanding, knowing, patience, that is where Baba says you need that skill of that
We
comes.
need to tame it, sister. We need to tame it with love, no?
Absolutely. Just by being who I am, it gets tamed. With my silent presence, it gets tamed. But Baba is the charioteer, I am the co-charioteer, and together, when my mind spills the milk, we don't scold it. है ना? Yeah, मन तो बच्चा है तो मन भी बोल सकता है मन तो बच्चा है. This is where we get a lot of confusion here. Yeah? Even mind can say मन बच्चा है. How many have really practiced mind as bachcha and actually really not got anywhere? You cannot see mind as bachcha until you know who you are. Otherwise, mind will act as bachcha and as a parent both. This is where it gets tricky. That's why I don't use this analogy much, man bachcha hai and all that. Charioteer, co-charioteer, understand you're with Baba. Charioteer and co-charioteer have to have the same qualities. Same qualities. Yeah? And as we are at the same frequency, same qualities, our presence will heal the mind. Yeah?
So, sister, you were just saying if the milk is spilled, so me and Baba, we don't have to scold it or punish it.
You know how Brahma Baba would set an example by doing it himself? Yeah? And just by being who we are, that it will learn, it will see the qualities of the co-charioteer and the charioteer.
Sister, can you explain this one a little more, like what you're saying, Brahma Baba?
Brahma Baba always never believed in teaching by speaking and giving instructions, but by doing it himself. Yeah? That was his way.
Practice before preaching, basically, practice before preaching.
So he would always come into action. मैं करूँगा. Not मैं करूँगा Brahma. मैं करूँगा आत्मा. It's okay. कोई नहीं करेगा. मैं तो आत्मा हूँ बाबा के साथ. बाबा और मैं करेंगे. Then automatically मुझे देख सभी करेंगे. Very similar attitude. Mind को मैं शांत करने की कोशिश नहीं करूंगी. I am silence. Mind अपने आप चुप हो जाएगा. बाबा सिर्फ मुझे इतना याद दिलाता है, you are silence. Mind is rambunctious or naughty right now, but you are silent. So in your silence, this is one thought. If you really want to say Baba has given one thought. So this is one thought, but who are you? On behalf of who is this restlessness there? Is that on behalf of you, the soul? No, soul's nature is not that. So it's on behalf of who? Of some personal identity sitting in the mind. Yeah? So the one who spilt the milk is not really the mind. The one who spilt the milk is the thought in the mind. Yeah. And from that, you will really start seeing with Baba more and more your interest in the mind finishes, and more you're disinterested in it, the more unlimited your disinterest becomes, the more it will start to really collapse into you, the source that you are. Your mind will collapse from having a separate identity of its own to becoming one with you. So it will do its not. The thing is, the thoughts will create their own world. That's okay. Just be with Baba and know your truth beyond it. That's it. And in that, Baba can maybe give you a Gyan point. But it will not feel like a Gyan point Rini is applying to get the mind quiet. It won't be like that. That I'm tired of this mind speaking too much and I want it to quieten down. And so I'm going to just use a Gyan point to get out of the restlessness of the mind. That feeling won't be there at all. Sorry, 1 second. I need to check this message. Okay. So would need
So, sister, I wanted to give one example of Brahma Baba. So they had to make in the morning, I believe, jalebi or halwa, and someone sent a lot of money. They could celebrate some festival, but they were all about to go to sleep and retire to the bed. And morning they had to offer bhog to Baba and celebrate. So Brahma Baba played a trick. Like he said, I'll start doing. And no child was in a mood to budge out. I mean, it was really, they had to crash their ego or whatever strength they had to pick up. So Brahma Baba started, Mama started, one Dadi came, two came, three came. All the Pandavavan was full of everyone picking up the stones from the grains. And within 1 hour and 1.5 hour, task was done. Morning, everything was offered. How Brahma Baba was putting energy in each one of soul around him. And it wasn't a task. It was a carry on, sister.
No, very good. Thank you for sharing this. And he did not do this to kind of make them do it. It was just, I will do it as a soul. If they do it or not, it's okay. I will do it. Not to teach them a lesson or anything, but just because he said, I will do it. It's okay. बच्चे थके हुए मैं कर लूंगा. Yeah. And so Baba is really teaching us that really knowing ourselves as we really are, beyond the Scrabble game of the mind. Yeah. And let it play Scrabble. It's okay. You stay silently with Baba and know your truth. Okay? So we will finish it here. As Baba is saying, spread the sound from your heart of this final sacrifice of the consciousness of I in a collective form. Then all the 5 elements will garland you with every type of garland of success. Beautiful. Just he wants this one I from you. Nothing else. And then everything is bowing at your feet. Yeah? Okay. Thank you, Baba. And this can only be done by no doing, by just being. Not even you have to let go, even that statement is incorrect. Natural letting go comes from knowing who you are. It's the nature of everything to come and to go. There's nothing to let go. Just being like Baba. That's the answer to all the variety, myriad of puzzles of the mind. Om Shanti.